It's the 25th of January. I'm in here making breakfast. We got bacon going on. I made Cathead biscuits. Right here's the Cathead shape. And they're about the size of a cat head. Let me see if I can test that out for you. So here's Cookie. Cookie, you want to show the size of your head? And here's this biscuit. You can see it's about the size of Cookie's head. It's hard for me to show you that because Cookie wants to smell like the biscuit. We can't have that. Now you see it's kind of like where the ears would be and the little thing, and that's called a Cathead biscuit made in the cast iron pan. And I'm just reiterating that because I had somebody to tell me that if you could fit more than 3 biscuits in a pan, it wasn't a Cathead. And I can tell you that's not true. Don't let a grape tell you how to be a nut. I was raised Appalachian. I was taught how to make these biscuits when I was 6 years old, and I know what a Cathead biscuit is. This is a pan of them right here, and this will be what we're having for breakfast this morning. I've got a video on how to make authentic Appalachian Cathead biscuits. If you're interested in that, and you want to know how to make these biscuits, then you can go to that video. It's one of my really early videos, and you can find out for yourself how to make these, and it's also got the recipe in it. I'm making bacon. We've got steaks here. I'm going to go ahead and fry these steaks up this morning. I'll cut them a little bit smaller than a full-size steak, because sometimes Donald likes a steak biscuit. He likes steak in the morning. Start out with a lot of protein. We'll get this bacon flipped and fried. I tell you, I got this bacon at the grocery store and put it in the freezer so when we would need it, we would have it. And it is something. Bacon is just, it's the tiniest little thing anymore, isn't it? I think I gave like $6 for this pack of bacon. And look at it. It's just the smallest pieces it can possibly be. Of course, you're not eating a whole bunch of bacon. Bacon's just for the flavor. That'll make good grease, and it'll also have a good fond down on the bottom of the pan to make a good sauce or gravy. But the bacon pieces are really small. I'm going to have to go somewhere and find some big bacon. I hate it when it just goes away in the pan and you have to look for it. But I'm thankful for what I have here. Try not to complain about the changes and things, and trying to just swing with it. Of course, if you have your own pig processed, you can have that bacon cut up any way you like it. It can be as thick as you want it. I think we're going to have some fruit with this. Normally, I would have cooked apples, of course. But I don't have any apples to cook this morning. There's probably some in the freezer, but I don't feel like digging them out. I got my cup of tea here, and it's just a good old cup of black tea. I've got the steaks in here, and of course, I fried them in the same pan that I fried the bacon in. I think the apples are in the other freezer. But I think I've got some peaches. These peaches right here will be just fine. I'm going to go ahead and heat them up in a pot. I'll heat these peaches that I've just got out of the freezer up in a little pot. I won't even cook them a lot. I'm just going to heat them till they unthaw and they're just slightly warmed. That'll be delicious with the biscuits. Normally I would have apples, and I do have some cut up apples in the freezer, but they're in the freezer downstairs. And by the time I go down there digging through that freezer, my stuff up here will be burning, so I don't want to do that. I just put a tad of water in there and the frozen peaches. I got this down on medium and it'll heat up, it'll warm up. So we'll have those along with our biscuits, our steak, and our bacon. We won't be eating all this ourselves. Our little grandkids will be coming in here in a little bit. And of course we'll be sharing it with them. I have made banana bread and a lot of other dishes. It just hasn't been so that I could film. I've had 6 grandkids. It's been a lot going on here. And of course I try to video when I can. I try to share with you all that I can. I'm doing the 3 Rivers Challenge where we're eating out of our pantry, our freezers, our cabinets, just what we have on hand. So I've made quite a few dishes, but I wasn't able to share them. Either I was in hot and heavy having to get in here and cook and think about what I was doing, or something else was going on around that at the time. And that's the thing, when you share your life, it's not always where you can stop and pick up your camera and share it, because you know sometimes life takes 2 hands and full concentration. If you see all these little bits and pieces, that's my rosemary. My friend gave me this for Christmas. She brought a twig of rosemary off of her little bush. My friend Jean, she usually brings me things like that around Christmas, and of course I love rosemary. This is good and dried, so I'm going to have to take it down and crunch it up and put it in a spice jar. But it's falling off a little bit while I'm waiting to do that. Donald loves tomatoes with his breakfast, but of course we don't have any fresh tomatoes, and sometimes we just bypass those flavorless tomatoes in the grocery store. They don't have a lot of flavor, so sometimes I open a can of chopped tomatoes, but today we're going to have these peaches. It's going to take them just a little bit to unthaw and to get cooked. We'll go ahead and put the lid on it, make that easier. But I'll have everything else ready by the time that happens.
Ooh. I'll need one of these biscuits. Maybe 2 of them. It's a cold day.
It is. I got
Eat it.
passion flower and crabapple out of the refrigerator jelly.
Oh, do you?
Is that
Okay.
is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to eat this morning? The peaches are taking a little while, but that's okay. They might be for dessert, right?
That'll be fine for dessert.
Yeah.
The cat bit me.
Oh no.
Always something with that cat.
He's a rascal.
And what was the other one?
Passion fruit.
Oh, yeah. 2 teaspoons. Not supposed to eat a lot of it, but whatever's good for you, it ain't.
Don't taste good. I know. So that's how it is sometimes.
Well, that's good. That's
All right.
breakfast.
I'm going to fix a plate. It's my turn to fix a plate. Get one of these little steaks. A few pieces of bacon. A biscuit. A Cathead biscuit. Just a tiny bit of jam. And we'll wait on the peaches.
Yeah.
Go sit down and eat. Yeah, we're watching John Ward of the Appalachian Channel, showing people living in tents there in North Carolina. Donald's eating. Of course, we use cloth napkins. That's what we've used probably for 20 years or more now. And you don't have to
The biscuit's good.
iron them or... I'm glad it's good, honey. You don't have to iron your napkins. The material and stuff, the way things are made now, you know, it's not like you're having a formal meal every time you use a napkin, you know. The peaches got heated up. If you can look how delicious they look. Now, if you think that peach cobbler is good and you don't have time to make it, you can just heat up some peaches and eat a biscuit with it, and it's remarkably delicious. Now, this is like eating summer. It's like summer, a taste of summer right here. Donald's enjoying his biscuits and peaches.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to crumble this biscuit right up into my peaches. I'm just going to stir them up and eat them this way.
Like a peach cobbler.
Yeah, sometimes we just open up the biscuit and then dip the peaches over the biscuit, and we have it that way.
Yep.
Really good. Well, the biscuits got scarfed. There's one biscuit left and one piece of meat, and Donald said he'd have that later. There's a few peaches left that we'll have later. And so that was a good breakfast. Well, it is a beautiful sunny day today, but it's cold. Don't let the sun fool you. It's really cold right now. Really cold out here. The kids have decided to get out and get some exercise. And of course, their coats are right over here. But they had them on coming out. He's going to get some work done out here today. You know, those aggravating crepe myrtle that was right here, and all of the blooms would fall and make a big mess right here on the driveway. Well, he's got out here and he's cutting a lot of this back. And we're not going to have to worry about this particular crepe myrtle making a big mess.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm trying to...
So here are these limbs. I think the crepe myrtle wood is so beautiful. I really do. It's smooth. The bark is just really thin. I don't know of any project that I could use this crepe myrtle wood in, but I'm glad to see it go. I'm glad to see this not be hanging over the driveway and making a big mess this year. There'll be a few things that we'll have to trim up and move around. Madeline's getting her some vitamin D. I guess if you're out here working, then it warms you up, right, Donald?
Yeah. Well, the sun ain't too bad.
The kids are just playing. They're just helping Grandpa out today.
Past week working in 20 degrees weather outside.
Yeah.
40 degrees feels great.
Yeah, feels warm, right?
Feels a lot warmer.
We are trying to get a head start since we didn't do a lot of the fall cleaning that we wanted to do. We're going to try and get a head start here, cleaning up the beds and getting ready to plant. Not anytime soon, but as soon as it warms up. Getting ready to move some things around and get some things cleaned up. And of course, this bed's needed some work here for a while. So this is one of the first things that we'll do is go ahead and take this crepe myrtle down. We've still got the turkey tail mushrooms over here. Try not to disturb this area too much. Donald's trying to put some new wood down for them. Now these turkey tails are growing on the old crabapple tree. And that's what we want to keep them growing here. So he put some wood down for them. We'll keep that area kind of moist. I don't know if it'll make a difference with the shade of this crepe myrtle being down and how these grow right here or not. If it does, we may just have to move them to a different area on up a little bit more shaded than it's been. Cookie sitting on the steps trying to catch some sun. He was right in front of the door and then he moved up here. We had some of those peaches left over, and so I'm going to use them to make a little peach cobbler for me and Donald one day this week. So I'm still eating out of the pantry. We're still eating what we have. Thank you for joining me today. And like always, Until next time. We had some of those peaches left over, and so I'm going to use them to make a little peach cobbler for me and Donald one day this week. So I'm still eating out of the pantry. We're still eating what we have. Thank you for joining me today. And like always, until next time.